Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This book is about Aqidah. It's about the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that are mentioned in the Quran and in the Sunnah. And they also mention the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's from the dorar, alsaniyah, the famous, beautiful website. For example, they come to an attribute and they will tell you, is it a name or not? And then they will mention the sources from the Quran, the verses, and they will mention a hadith. If it's more than one hadith, they also mention it. Here they mentioned also the saying of Umar ibn Khattab. And then they told you the definition, or what does al-hasib means. For example, here, can we say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a shay? They mention from the Quran, the Sunnah, and then they mention sometimes from the companions and from the Salaf. And they also mention the sayings of Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah, and they also mention, for example, Ibn Baz rahimahullah, and Shinqiti, Al-Ghunayman, and many other scholars. And here, for example, they spoke about things that are not clearly mentioned in the Quran and Sunnah, like a had, does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a limit? Al-haraka, does Allah have a movement? Does He move? Al-makan, a place, does He have a jism? Does He have a direction? All of these things, they addressed it. And here, for example, al-yasar wal-yamin, the left hand and the right hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they mentioned the Quran and the Sunnah, and then they went to a hadith that mentions the right hand and the left hand. And then they mentioned the sayings of the scholars and who affirmed it or who denied it. For example, here, al-qailuna bi-ithbat sifat al-shimali wal-yasar, those who said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a left hand. Uthman bin Sa'id al-Darimi, Abu Ya'la al-Farra, wa Sadiq Hassan, and also Muhammad Khalil al-Harras, rahimahullah, wal-Ghunayman. And then they mentioned those who said Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not have a left, He only has right. And like Ibn Khuzaymah rahimahullah, Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, Al-Bayhaqi, Al-Albani, and they mentioned all of their sayings, even those who said yes and those who said no. And the book is not big, it's 468 pages, so it's not that long. And you can buy it from their website, dorar.net, and it's for $8. And the same exact book, they have it as a PDF for $0, so you just can buy it by itself and you can read it online. The same exact book. Do I recommend this for the beginners? Yes, I do, but if there are things that you do not understand, go ahead and ask your teacher. And just to let you know, this is not an advertisement, but I do benefit a lot from their books because they have tons of books which are beneficial. They have books in fiqh, aqidah, tafsir, hadith, and everything. And that's what we got. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.